And now you're mine. You can't stop the things I do. I ain't lying.
This video actually breaks my heart, y'all. This video right here is gonna break my heart. I just posted a video about about a union being fake, right? Well, by the time this video gets posted, I actually will have posted it yesterday, right? So yesterday I posted a video about this union being fake. And there was like this strong missing component where I could not tap into divine masculine's feelings to see like what role he had to play. And it bothered me. It bothered me. And even after I posted that video, Spirit kept saying, like, you know the answer, think about it. Like, think, like, you know the answer, think about it, right? Just put two and two together. And then I was reminded of this conversation. Y'all, this conversation happened a while ago. This was years ago. But it reminded me of this conversation. How do I say this? Whether you're religious or full-fledged spiritualist, you know, I've even heard some people say, like, I've graduated above religion. There's really, like, no such thing, right? You know, whether you're religious is just spiritualist with rules. Like with religion comes certain rules. Even certain spiritual religions, like I always go back to like the Yoruba religion, like the, you know, Ifa, the Santeria religion. It's just spirituality with rules. That's the only difference between religion and spirituality. Spirituality is like free for all, whereas religion just has rules to it, right? But even with spirituality, you still have spiritual law. So there are rules to this no matter what. But regardless of what your beliefs are, once you wake up spiritually and you start seeing things for what it really is, it's crazy. It's crazy because it's like the people that you least expect. And people are so good at wearing that mask. And I promise you, it's not until you wake up spiritually, right? Or if you're just born with that innate spiritual gift of discernment. But it's really not until you wake up spiritually that you can see people for who they really are. And you can see things for what's really happening, because people will hide behind a mask and they do it oh so well. They do it oh so well, right? I dated this guy years ago. I was 19 going into 20, like still young in college. He was older than me, not like creepily older, just a few years older. Like, he was 3 years older than me. I was 19. He was 22 going on 23 at the time, right? You know, really nice, really sweet guy. He graduated high school. He didn't want to go to college. He was done with school. He was like obsessed with making money. His only thing was that he wanted to get out and start working and making money, right? No, you know, no shame, no nothing. Like he was a really good guy, y'all. He was a really, really, really good guy. And you know, like when you sit back and you think about, like, if you're just being honest with yourself, one of the ones that got away, like, I can't stand when I hear people say, like, oh, I never fumbled the bag, or, oh, I never fumbled a relationship. People always fumble me. Like, if you're truly honest with yourself, right? If you're truly honest with yourself, like 99% of us have someone that we fumble. So, like, here's my truth. This is the one that I fumbled. This is the one that I fumbled because I was young. I was in college. So I wanted to hang out. I wanted to enjoy my free time. I wanted to have fun. He was always working. He was working 2 jobs. And then he wanted more money because he wanted us to move in together. And I was like, well, I can't do that. I'm like, I'm in school. I'm living on campus. I'm good. And I was like, you know, it's expensive. Like moving in together is expensive. And he was like, don't worry, I got it. He was like, I've already been looking at, he worked like a day shift job and an evening shift job. He would literally go to one job in the morning, get off that job and like go straight to the next job, right? I remember one time he asked me if I could come pick him up, and I'm thinking, oh, we're about to finally hang out and do something for a change. And I pick him up, we go grab something to eat. I think it was like Wendy's, something quick. And then he was like, all right, take me here. And I literally dropped him off at his next job because his car had broken down. And it was in the shop. And I was like, really? I said, I thought we were about to like hang out and go on a date or something. You really had me pick you up to take you to your job. I was so mad, y'all. I was so mad. Like, I laugh about it now, but at the time, like younger, immature me, I was so freaking mad, right? But I ended up, like I said, he wanted to move in together, and I was like, no, because it's like expensive. And I said, I don't work, so you're going to have to pay for everything. He was like, I don't care. He said, I've been looking at like part-time weekend only positions that I can do to make more income. And I'm like, you work 2 jobs Monday through Friday. If you work Saturday and Sunday too, you're never even going to see me. Like, what's the point of us living together? You are never going to see me except for when you come home, shower, and go to sleep. That does not even make sense. Like, no, let's not do that. Let's just at least, keep the weekend so at least we have some time to spend together, right? But I ended up leaving him because I was like, you were just working too much. Like, you're taking life too seriously, right? You're working too much. But he was a good guy. And I mean, like, family oriented, showed up for his family, showed up for his mom, showed up for his sister, showed up for his brother. Great guy. Now let's fast forward several years, right? Like I said, this is before I got into spirituality, right? I had a conversation with his sister, ran into her one day and was asking her like how things are going, how's your brother? How is everything? And she just paused and got quiet. And I was like, is everything okay? Like, I know he's good. Like, I still see him, back when I was still into Facebook, I still see him on social media. So like, I know he's at least alive and well, physically speaking. So I was like, is everything okay? And she was like, he's changed. And I was like, well, what do you mean changed? She said, he's changed. He had, this is back when I was still living, in Georgia and Atlanta, right? And she was like, he started dating this girl. He moved down to where she was at, moved into her house, which is so unlike him because he's the type of person where he like really wants his own, right? But like, this is the reason why I say like the previous video brought me back to this, right? He had hit hard. Y'all remember back in like 2008, a lot of us, like if you're in my age range, you would have been in college in 2008. So like the whole recession thing, wouldn't have really affected us much. If you're in like the 45 to 54, or actually the things have changed. I went and looked. And now it's like 30%, 30%, 35 to 44, 30%, 45 to 54. And what is it? 15% of the, 55 and up. So like dope, right? So, or like whatever the next age range is, but like, that's dope, right? It might be like, I don't know. It doesn't matter. But like, yeah, definitely like my audience is older. So I feel like y'all will understand more. So for those who were out of college and working, y'all remember the recession back in 2008, right? And it was hard for people to find jobs. Like it really hit people hard. He got hit hard by that, fell on, hard times, and ended up moving in with this woman. And the reason like I mentioned that, specifically because like he's not the type of person, he's always been the type of person that like had his own, that wanted his own, right? That prided himself on having his own. So it was like a shot to his ego to not have anything. And he didn't want to go running and crawling back home. His pride wouldn't let him do that. And like, I hate that, but like, I understand like for men, these things are different, right? But I really hate that. So he moved in with her, down in like some small, what they call like podunk town in the country. And he changed. Like his sister was like, he could never keep a phone after that. He could never keep a job after that. She was like, he stopped even wanting to work. And she was like, she just didn't understand it. She didn't understand it. She didn't know what was going on. She was like, this is not my brother. This is not him, right? And I was, thinking, and my first thought is like, well, he probably was out of work, moved in with her, got comfortable, and didn't want to work like that. Excuse me. That was my thought at the time. Like, he just got comfortable, and now when he feels like what it's like to wake up every day and not have to get up and do anything, he just, what do they call it? Monica got way too comfortable. I know I can't sing, y'all, off key, whatever, but that's what I'm thinking. But then she mentions that like something happened where they went through some money troubles, because she was like, even the woman that he was dating was working a job where she wasn't making any money. So she wasn't even making the amount of money it took to provide for them. She was actually getting assistance. And like, I assume he knew that. I don't know if he knew that, but she was getting assistance. So they were living off of like assistance and her income that she was receiving. But they ended up like losing their place where they were staying because they couldn't afford it anymore. She ended up going to move back in with her family, her parents, I assume. And he, not wanting to move in with parents, he was like, well, if I'm going to move in with parents, I might as well move in with my own. But instead of moving in with his mom, he actually went and moved in with his sister for a couple of months. And she was like, when he was living with me, he was working. Like, she said, as soon as he got out here, he started looking for a job. He found a job. The entire time, the entire months, 5-6 months that he was with me, he worked. He got up every day. He went to work. He helped out. He gave me money, to help out. Like, she was like, he was like the old him. But then once the girl called and was like, hey, I was able to get another house down here, come back, come move in, so we can be back together or whatever. He went back to move in with her, had to leave his job where he was at, because if y'all know anything about Atlanta, the traffic is so bad that even if you stay in the metro area, you can still be stuck in traffic anywhere from an hour, 2+ hours trying to get back and forth to work. So you're talking about coming from one of these little small towns south, like down towards the south, the amount of time you spend in traffic wouldn't even be worth it. Wouldn't even be worth the commute, right? So he leaves that job and goes back down to where she stays, tries to find a job back there because he's trying to do the right thing, and somehow ends up back in that slump. And his sister is like, and the thing about it is, it's like when he's down there, we never hear from him. Like, they, at that point, they'd been together for some time, like years had passed. They had had children. There are children involved here. They had had children. And she was like, when the children's birthdays come around, like his girlfriend throws parties and doesn't even invite us. Like, we're not even invited. Only her family are invited. She said, whenever we are able to get the kids for like a weekend or holiday, we have to like do like a little small celebration ourselves or with our family, because we're never invited. Like, their family is so reclusive, right? Just so reclusive. And she was like, it's just weird, because she was like, the way my brother changes when he gets around them is weird. And she was like, it's almost like he does any and everything he can to please these people. And she said, we don't understand why, because she was like, he knows that like we're not happy with how things are going and how he's living his life. And it's like, he doesn't care how we feel. It's like his only priority is to please these people, right? And she was like, and like I said, she said her biggest concern and the biggest part of it that was breaking her heart was the fact that whenever he was down there, they never heard from him. They would try calling, he wouldn't answer. Sometimes the phone would be shut off. They would try calling the girlfriend's phone, she wouldn't respond. And she was just heartbroken by that, right? Something, when I posted that last video, reminded me of that conversation. And now that I'm awakened spiritually, when that conversation got brought to mind, y'all, they were doing spell work on her brother. Her family, her family. It can't just be her. It can't just be her. With the fact that her whole family is strange acting. Y'all, her family, that girl and her family are doing spell work on her brother. And that's the reason why whenever he comes around them and he's around them for extended period, not like a day or two, not like a weekend, not like a couple of hours on Christmas, but whenever he's around them for extended periods of time, it's like the old him comes back. The old him snaps back. The old him, he's the old him again. He's the original him. And then once he goes back down there, all of a sudden he's this person that nobody recognizes. Y'all, that woman is doing spell work on my ex. That woman is doing spell work on her brother. And I think the reason I was reminded of this conversation after I posted that last video, if that last video, and it was a long one, so if you happen to come across this one, because it's going to be a bit shorter, and you don't know what I'm talking about, then you might want to just catch, like, even if you like wait and go to like the 30-minute mark when I start talking about like the like wrap it up part of it, and just watch the last 15 minutes. I believe the divine masculine, and the reason I could not see him, and the reason I could not get a sense of him, is because he is not him. The feminine, the karmic energy was so strong that it really overpowered everything. The divine masculine in the video that I previously posted about this fake union is under a spell. He's under a spell. And I don't have any other way to put it. He is under a spell. But here's the thing. And like I said, I don't, even if you just do this out of the kindness of your heart, because I don't recommend anybody wait around for anybody, especially if this type of thing is going on. Please don't waste your time. But what I will say to you, divine feminine, is that these people who are into spell work, especially the ones who have been in this for years, they recognize true divine energy. They recognize authentic divine energy. This person is so threatened by you because they know that you are powerful enough to break whatever spell they have on this person. I don't know how. In my spiritual journey has been a lot about my own personal growth and about manifesting for myself. I can honestly tell you, I've never done anything where it comes to breaking a spell for someone else. But if you're interested in doing that, I don't even know like who, there's a YouTube channel called Black Cauldron. She does a lot of content on spell work. She would probably be the only one at this moment that comes to mind that I could tell you to read, or the Black Cauldron, or Black Witch Yaya. Black Witch Yaya are the only two I can think about that like have really, really, really good energy, that a lot of their content is on spell work, right? If you're interested. But the reason I say this is because there was something I could not let it go about your birthday being of significance, and of this person having to go extra strong and extra hard around the time of your birthday. And there's something about the love that this divine masculine has for you. The love that this divine masculine has for you. The third time is the charm. The love that this divine masculine has for you is so strong. It is so strong that it's causing like glitches in the spell work. Because your energy is so strong. And the fact that he is holding on to you. And because love is authenticity is the most powerful energy, if we just being honest. But people love to say love. Love is number 2, and it's up there. They like neck and neck. But authenticity is the real highest form of energy, right? But the energy, the frequency of love is so strong that by him even holding on to that thread of that frequency that keeps him attached to you is enough to even bring him out of that spell, even if only temporary. And something is telling me to say this: if the woman he's with, if your divine masculine is the one in this union, and if the woman he's with is like the kind that stays in the kitchen, I mean loves to cook, stays in the kitchen, gets up, like if this woman has this man on lockdown to the point where he can't even work, where she has him locked in the house all the time, that she's the one working, but she still get up in the morning and make breakfast. Like, you get up in the morning and make breakfast like your man about to go out and work a hard 9 to 5. Meanwhile, he's about to eat and go get back in the bed, and you about to be out working. If this woman gets up in the morning and makes this man breakfast and has a lunch for him packed in the refrigerator, ready in the refrigerator before she goes out to work and he stays home, she's doing something to the food. She's doing something to the food. That's how she's doing her spell work. She's doing, we all know about, like, the minstrels and the spaghetti, but she's doing something way more than that, right? She's doing way more than that. But there's, like I said, there's something about the frequency of love being so strong and him holding on to you because he still has love for you that is causing glitches in the spell work, right? And your birthday, I don't know what it is about your birthday. I don't know if you guys did something, or if you have a special memory, or maybe he did something super special for you one year for your birthday and you just absolutely loved it. But there's a specific memory tied to your birthday that this person has to do extra around that time to keep him under the spell. And even then, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. But like I said, I'm not for anyone waiting around or doing any waiting around for anyone. But for anyone, because there are going to be some, no matter what I say, that are still going to do, because we have free will. So no matter what I say, because of free will, there are going to be some people who are going to do whatever they want to do. And there's nothing wrong with that, do you? But you are strong enough, Divine Feminine, if you want to look into how, you are strong enough to break that spell. But you're going to have to catch him alone. You're going to have to find some kind of way to get him alone to do your, do y'all watch, what is it? Priestess Ra Amun. Crap, I can't even think of it right now. But she calls it her Shamalama Ding Dong. Like, I love her energy. She's what she call herself, a ghetto shaman, and that she is. But I love her energy, right? But you're going to have to find some kind of way to get this divine masculine alone so that you can do your quote unquote shamalama ding dong. But you are strong enough to break that spell. And it's because of the love that he still has for you. But yeah, y'all, that's it. That's it. I don't even know what I'm going to title this one, but that's crazy. That's crazy. Anyways, y'all, that's the message for today. Thank you for listening. Bye.